And thanks for joining us. Dusty Sonnenberg, Field Leader with the Ohio's Country Journal and Ohio AgNet. We are on the Ohio Field Leader Roadshow. We are out in Perry County. I'm joined today by Keith Dennis. And Keith, a beautiful April morning, sort of chilly out as we're out here today, but we are talking cover crops. And I guess to get started, tell us a little bit about the farm here, how long you've been farming and how long you've been doing the cover crops and no-till.
Wife and I bought this place in '76, moved over here from Sugar Grove down on the family farms that I still own part of. And we did full tillage up until 2011 and had the opportunity to go to one of Dave Brandt's meetings and learned about a lot of stuff about cover crops and decided that was what we needed to do on this farm because it's 65% HEL. And we had a lot of erosion and worked with a lot of erosion controls in the old days when everybody came up with I thought they was the right ideas and they'd work for a while. But cover crops has made a big difference in this farm.
Well, you had mentioned earlier when we chatted that when you first bought this, a lot of hard ground, a lot of hard soils before you went to cover cropping and a lot of problems with erosion and some of the gullies got pretty deep.
The gullies, when we bought it, was deep enough that you and I could lay down in one on top of the other and people wouldn't have been able to find us. It just was that highly erodible, and so we was dealing with a lot of subsoil for our topsoil. So we built the organic matter and stuff back up with cover crops up into 3s and 2s and halves and 3 and a halves. On percent of organic matter on this farm is pretty amazing with 15 years of covers.
Let's talk about what we see around us and behind us here. What do we have for the cover crop mix today?
We got a barley rye mix with hairy vetch, Austrian peas, Lancia clover, and a red clover, all planted in October at this particular part of 24.
And as we take a look at a lot of nice growth that's coming on, and you mentioned one thing you've been doing here more recently is trying to get some nitrogen on it to really get some growth going.
We'd like to have had that on back in October and November, but we didn't make it till here the 1st of March for this year. 21004, we put on 20 gallon to make the roots and stuff grow before we plant it. We'll plant green. Hopefully this gets up better than knee high. Last couple years by doing the nitrogen kick, we've been up to 6-7 foot tall as the tractor tires when we try and pull the planter through it. Haven't had a bit of problem planting with that much residue, and it's amazing how much residue has and tissue test has had in nitrogen and phosphorus and potash by putting on the nitrogen early and getting it to grow in and capture the nutrients that are in the ground.
Well, as we do some digging, we see a really nice top growth, but even equally or maybe more impressive is the roots that we see underneath that have really got growing. And the soil structure really captures my attention. Just some nice texture and structure there. You've just got just the way it's really changed the soil.
The root growth is supposedly as deep as your top growth is, and that's what we were missing over the years after not using any fertilizer and chemicals. And now that we've got the root growth growing deep, last year it helped us immensely with water holding capacity and infiltration during the drought. It was pretty severe around here in this part of the state, but cover crops made a major difference. One soybean root I pulled out was 16 and a half inches long and held together. So it was in a rye root or one of the other cover roots, and it came out with the plant. So I thought that was pretty impressive that it was stayed together and didn't at least 16 and a half inches of it, which I have pictures of and things. But it was it makes a major difference when you get your soil into the right texture and health, and it doesn't wash away from you like it had over the years.
Well, another thing you've been doing is a lot of soil testing, but not the traditional test. You really got on the ground floor with the Haney soil health test and looking at what's going on, not only with the nutrients, but biologically and the overall health of the soil, and some interesting numbers that have changed over time. Maybe share a little bit of that.
The biology is the most important thing that we miss in all the other soil tests and done by a lot of the different companies. But the P levels that I've had, not using any fertility, trying to make the covers do it. We run the P level down to 1 part per million, 2 part per million, instead of the 40 and 50 like we'd always been taught. And talking to Christine Jones, a professor from Australia that was here to Dave Brandt's, and we met and talked, she said that was wonderful. Dave and I looked at each other thinking she must be not right, but what she said was the salt was gone in our soil, and now the P levels are coming back with these really good cover crops growing. When I had them the height that they are not going to make that height this year, but that's just been the year that we've fought with. But P levels have started back up. It's my belief that we are going to be able to make our own nutrients plant ready and not be a commercial fertilizer thing where it has to lay and convert to plant usable form. And I think that's going to be a major plus for the way things can go in the future when fertilizing stuff may not be able to be gotten hold of or we run out. Who knows what's going to come in the future, but this is a way that we can make our own crop fertilize, and make the plants grow and make cash crop grow and make your bottom line even bigger.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Again, my guest today is Keith Dennis. We are over in Perry County taking a look at his cover crops and no-till on the Ohio Field Leader Roadshow.